Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now in this video I'm actually going to be showcasing Higgsfield.ai's Cinematic Studio, right? A very useful tool if you're not too sure on how to make individual AI ads or individual AI videos. It can be a great tool to simplify your process, okay? Now, every single video of mine has started in the same place, ChatGPT, right? The reason being, we need to obviously create our prompts, okay? And I'm going to take you through that process right now and then take you over to Higgsfield.ai to showcase the Cinematic Studio's ability to turn images and the prompt into something truly amazing. Now, let's go into it. Now, I've just made a new chat in my project titled Higgsfield.ai Fashion Studio, fashion ads, right? I have the master prompt in a Notion document. If any of you out there do want that, I will include that in the description most likely. If not, give me a message and I'll shoot it over to you. Now, ChatGPT is already wearing away, mate. Let me just minimize myself a little bit, right? So ChatGPT has already decided, right, let's give you some ideas, okay? And really good images, right? Now, this can be useful to give us reference images, right? To give to Higgsfield to say, okay, we want this type of product in this type of scene, in this type of style, right? Now, I've gone with Nike Air Jordans, some random ones that I found online. In all honesty, I'm not a shoe person. I'm not a sneaker person. I have had the same pair of shoes for the past like 4 years. Now, that aside, I think this has been really good because it gives us a taste into what kind of aesthetic we want, right? And I think having some sort of city driven momentum style, right? This kind of aesthetic will be really, really good. But then maybe because the shoes, if I just upload my shoes quickly, as you can see here, this is the product that I've gone with, right? Like I said, I just found it on Google. I think in combination with this one, this sort of aesthetic, because the shoes are actually kind of deep blue already, that can work quite nicely. And this kind of city-esque will work really nicely, right? So if we tell ChatGPT, so the product, the platform, we're going to be using the Cinema Studio in Higgsfield. If I just show you it quickly, here we go, Cinema Studio. I've already tried it out. There's slight refinements that I need to make to these, but let me just show you one of that. As you can see here, a little bit of refinement needed to be done to that, but that's where the prompt really comes into play, okay? So this is the product. GPT, this is the product we're showcasing. And I think the best style to go after is the city style with maybe like a slightly darker theme, right? With a darker theme to match the blue on the shoes. Okay, now the platform we're using will be the Cinema Studio in Higgsfield.ai. That just gives ChatGPT a little bit of reference on what platform we're using, right? What software should it engineer the prompts best to, right? Now, the length of the video will be, do not mind my spelling, I type very fast, but not accurately, right? So I believe, yeah, you can only make 10-second clips in this, which is fine, right? Let's think you are making an ad, right? 10-second clips or 5-second clips is all you're going to need because you can make multiple of these videos in very little credits, right? I want to emphasize this is just 18 credits, okay? Really, really handy. So you can make multiple different shots. Just make sure that the product prompt stays the same. So always reference this image. It's the best thing that you can do, right? which direction above? Yeah, we've already given that. 10, not 120, 10 seconds long. Right, another thing that we want to do before we do anything, right, is important note. We will be making the image prompts first to maximize the effectiveness of the video generation. Right, let's see what ChatGPT gives us. Okay, so it's going to analyze the product image that we've applied to that prompt. Now I have my ChatGPT set up in a way where it always asks me, like, why do you want this, or why do you think this is the best idea? But your normal ChatGPT will just be like, great job, good job. So yeah, just keep that in mind, right? Right, okay, so it's kind of gone ahead a little bit. A hyper-realistic shot of a sneaker is suspended in midair, slightly angled, self-facing partially towards the camera, background feature soft focus. Yeah, okay. I think side profile, we can try all of these. I always like to try more prompts than probably necessary, just because the more you have to play around with, the better, in my experience, right? And we're also going to test two different AI models, Nano Banana Pro and Seedream 4.5. In my experience, Seedream 4.5 has been the best, right? But I'm always interested to see how Nano Banana Pro works. Now, these are the ones, I'll showcase that video to you in just a moment, but previously, sorry. And this is what I got back, right? As you can see here, really good. Though the texture on the legs seems still very, as you can see here, it's quite smooth. It's almost like he shaved his legs, right? But this one, it was really good, okay? Can use this one, even to be fair, as a static creative. If you're using these in, let's say, an ad campaign or something like that, these can very easily be your creatives, right? That's quite nice. The lighting shines perfectly onto the sole, right? It's really good. But let's delete this old prompt and let's use Nano Banana Pro, okay? Now, again, we're going to upload the product image as a reference. Always, always, always do this, right? Because if you just paste in the prompt, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to have a clue what product you're on about, right? But let's go with batch size. We're going to go unlimited. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can only do one batch size. Okay, you can understand. Hang on, give me 1 second. Sorry, my recording thing was in the way of the, the exit arrow. Lovely, right? Okay, we're going to go with unlimited because 9 times out of 10, this tends to give the best result. But if you want to test quicker, I would highly recommend increasing the batch size, because if you can have 4 creatives come out at one time, it just allows you to test more efficiently. But because I want the highest quality video possible, we have to start with the highest quality image first, okay? Now, if, like I say, if you're wanting to test quicker and you're not really too bothered about the quality of the end product, like I say, if you're maybe giving your client a bit of a taste of what AI can do and you just want something quick, something easy, happy days, right? Batch size of 4. Obviously it uses more credits, but speed is key, okay? Now I will be back as soon as the generation has been completed. Okay, so the image has finished loading and this is the design, right? Really cool, really quite nice. As you see here, really high quality. As I mentioned earlier, if you want something a little bit more high quality, as you can see the texture on the actual product itself, you can even see the leather marks here, right? It's really good, and the little bumps here. So as I was saying, right, if you want highest quality video at the end, you have to start with the highest quality image at the start, right? It's really, really important. Okay, now that we have this though, we can download this and give it to ChatGPT, because I'm really quite happy with the way that's come out. There we go. Really quite happy with how that's turned out. This is the result of prompt 1. Now, can you give us the prompt for the Higgsfield.ai Cinema Studio? Like I say, I can't spell, apparently. We're going to let ChatGPT come up with a prompt, right? Because what I like to do sometimes, unless I already have a vision in mind for the end creative or the end video, right? I normally like to give the AI preference over that. I know it sounds really strange, but it's quite useful because sometimes the AI will know, okay, this is what will work best in the cinema studio, just for an example, right? Now, cinema, a 4K cinematic, locked off frame for a second, yeah, slowly dolly push. Really good tip, by the way. Do not say just basic camera movements. If you want to, go onto Google and just search up camera movement names or camera movement direction, right? And scrape the whole, if you find it on Google, right, and it gives you the list of the actual names of the camera directions, copy and paste that into ChatGPT and have it implement that into your master prompt. Because rather than ChatGPT saying slowly follow the product or slowly follow the character, it will actually use the correct terminology as a normal director would, right? And that's what you want the AI to do. Because if you just say follow the character, it might get confused. But if you actually give it the correct wording, like as you see, a slow dolly push in, it can actually be like, oh, okay, I know what to do now. Product movement remains suspended, rotating very slowly on its vertical axis, right? Again, being very, very direct on what you actually want it to do. Now, we are going to copy this into the Creative Studio, Cinema Studio, sorry, should I say. And we are going to give it the starting frame, image generations, this as a starting frame, and then we're going to paste in our prompt here. All right, now this is where you can choose your aspect ratio. Now obviously if you are doing a video for social media, then I would highly recommend that you do it in 9:16. That is the ratio for social media, if you didn't know. Simply because if you do it in, let's say 16:9, you're going to have to crop it and make it fit the 9:16, right? And it can work in some cases. I'm not going to argue that it won't, but it's not going to look quite right, okay? So, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to showcase to you the cinematic, right? It's going to be really, really good, okay? Now, slow motion, no audio. We're going to leave it on because why not? And for motion, movement, sorry, we're going to leave that as just standard, okay? But as you can see here, you can choose exactly what you want it to do. But I've found that if you include it in the prompt, it will kind of do it for you, okay? But as I say, if you want something specific, choose the camera movement, okay? Now, I'm going to hit generate, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so it has just come back, right? And let's watch it together. I haven't actually seen this before, so let's watch it. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. I like the movements, I like the lighting. I think it's good. The thing that I want to emphasize here, right? Let's just play it again. The thing I wanted to emphasize here is definitely you're gonna have to make more than one clip, right? Obviously, right? But this is going to be really good footage if you chop it up with lots of different ones, right? Maybe even if I showcase to you what I mean, if I can get out of here. Let's have ChatGPT make a continuation. Cool. Can you make a continuation from this clip? right? Just because I want to emphasize, yes, that is very good. It's very high quality. Everything looks nice. The lighting works. The movement of the little chain on the shoe, perfect, right? But you can't just upload that, right? It's just not going to work. But what you want to do instead is have a continuation from that, right? Maybe we'll just say something fast pace to transition from the slow movement of the product. Right, just again to give ChatGPT some reference. It's a shame we can't upload videos to ChatGPT because he could look at this and be like, oh, right, okay, I know what you mean now. But what you could do instead is upload this to, again, either Seedream or Seedream or Nano Banana Pro, and you could just upload more images, right? So you could actually upload different things that you wanted in here, and say, let's say you wanted the product, the background scene, and a character. You can upload all of these, right? Or upload them first to ChatGPT, and then get ChatGPT to give you the prompt, and then upload all of those images back onto here, and then you can have different scenes, if that makes sense. So yes, we've done a product photo shoot, right? But if I got, let's say, this guy here, and if we go back to ChatGPT, and then we can tell ChatGPT, okay, I want it to transition into this guy wearing the product, and then we can give ChatGPT the prompt for this. And then essentially what we do is just make another image with those two combined. Like I say, like I mentioned in my previous videos, you always have to kind of link it backwards as you're going along, right? Because the AI, it knows what you want, but it doesn't quite know how you want it executed. If that makes sense. Okay, he's gone a bit ahead of himself, but just the image prompt for now, please, boss. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see what it comes out as. Again, unlimited, and I will see you when that generation's done. Okay, and as you can see here, it kind of done what I asked it to do. I mean, a bit of a shame that it's dirty underneath, but I mean, it adds to the realism at the end of the day. But as you can see here, with the unlimited turned on, so much nicer, isn't it? Really, like all the detail. It's even got a little speck of whatever that is on there, right? So if we go back to the, let's first download that, and then if we upload that back to ChatGPT, just say this is the outcome. Yeah, and like I say, it's always a link backwards, right? You always have to give ChatGPT the knowledge of what it's just created, and then you can create the next thing. Does that make sense, right? Now, let's see what ChatGPT gives us as a prompt. I really quite like that, to be fair. I like the subtlety on the road and stuff like that. Now, to be fair, now thinking about it, Nano Banana Pro might actually be the way to go with product images. Seedream is definitely really good. I think it's really good when it comes to having like clothing and people on here. Not necessarily skin, in all fairness, right? But it's really good, really good. Now let's chuck it in here. Now again, feel free to read through all of your prompts. I typically like to just see, okay, what am I working with when I start it? And then I can have a look at the prompts thereafter, right? Because it just saves so much time, right? And let's increase the batch size to 4. I'm going to spend a few credits here, but actually let's go 2, right? Now, again, camera movement. Let's see. What should we do it as? Handheld. Camera follows. Yeah, we'll go with camera follows. Why not? Now, let's hit generate and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we've just actually got back our videos. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good. I like that one. So as you can see, right, you're not going to be able to make the perfect thing in just one video. You have to make a collection of videos to make the best ad possible, right? Or best video possible, whatever your use case is, right? Now, just think, right, if we had a few more of these clips, you can export them into CapCut, your editing software of your choice, and make a beautiful ad or video from these videos, right? Now, as you can see here, like the detail on them, it actually looks like, oh, look at that. That's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, as you can see here, you just have to repeat this process for your entire ad that you want to create. Obviously, it being, you know, a typical ad is anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute and a half, 2 minutes, especially on social media. It doesn't have to be too long. But as you can see here, you can make multiple of these different shots, different angles. Like I say, always link it back. Make sure ChatGPT knows exactly what you've just created. And then that is the best way that you can make AI videos like this. If you want any more help on any of this, please do let me know. And I'll be more than happy to hop on a call, answer it in the comments, whatever the case may be. Please do let me know. Likewise, if you want my master prompt for this, please do let me know. And any and all prompts that you've seen throughout this video, I will send them over to you. Now, that being said, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you did enjoy, and I'm here for the long run, so stick around.